Hi everyone, I'm Lydia and welcome to my sewing channel. Today I am doing my first pattern and fabric haul from JoAnn's because that's where I went today, and I'm very excited about it because I made it out of there like a criminal. I mean, absolute steal today. I couldn't even believe it. The patterns were on sale for $1.99, which happens often, but what really surprised me was the fabric deals I got, which I'll get to after the patterns because I think people are usually more interested in the patterns because I'm going to go through them. I obviously haven't made these yet. They're new patterns to me, but I'll tell you some things about them that you usually don't find when you're just looking for them online and stuff. A lot of vintage and a few modern things, but the first one I got, which I'm very happy about, is the Butterick 6938, which is this beautiful 1950s halter dress. And it comes with a little short bolero jacket there. And what I love about this one is that the waist has two panels. It's not just one big piece, right? It's two panels, which I think, since it has two horizontal seams at the waist, it actually gives you more ability to fit. I mean, there's two places to fit. So sometimes people will get a piece that fits their waist, and then as it's going up, it's a little bit tight, that sort of thing. A little bit easy on the fit. So some notes about this one, just the general stuff. It's a side zipper, 14 inches, and the skirt is a full 360 circle skirt, with 4 panels. So there is a center back and a center front seam. I know a lot of people don't like center front seams, but I opened it up and I looked at the cutting diagram, and even with a 60-inch fabric, you're just not going to be able to cut these panels on any kind of fold. Even if you turn them and cut them, cut them parallel to the selvage or perpendicular to selvage, it won't matter. It just won't fit. The only way to avoid a center front seam would be to slice the 2 front panels and create a 5th in the middle. And some people do that. I've done that before. Some other items about this. The fitting ease. Unlike most Big 5 patterns, this one, virtually no ease. According to the information on the back of the envelope, we're looking at only a 1/2 inch of ease in the chest. So if you're a 36, it's going to come out to 36.5. So very close fitting. The waist does have 2 inches of ease though. And I can understand why they've done that, because adjusting fit in the waist after you've cut out pieces is always much easier than trying to fix anything going up from the chest above once you've already cut your pieces. So that's good on them that they didn't overbuild the ease in that halter top. It'll make it easier on everybody. The yardage given can be a little scary. It is a fabric hog, but with these patterns, you have to remember, when they give you the yardage, they're always giving you the worst case scenario. It's always with nap, so directional. If you're using a fabric that isn't directional, you could probably get away with a good yard less than it's telling you in here. So that's a good one. Comes in sizes 6 to 24, 2 packets, 6 to 14, and 16 to 24. So there's that one. $1.99, can't believe it. Now, the next one I got, now this is another vintage. It's Simplicity 9699. Now this is a set of separates. It's a blouse, a skirt, and the short little cropped jacket there. And what really drew me into this one was the blouse, because I just like the look of the top, and it does have a side seam zipper in it, and it's fitted. It has 2 darts in the front. But with this style of blouse, you could easily make it without the side zipper and just leave out the darts. And then you would just have a less unfitted blouse that you could just tuck in. So I think it translates pretty well from doing it vintage or doing it more modern, just whichever way. I learned about this pattern. Drew Keelan, who I'll link down in the comments, did a video on this one when she made all 3 pieces. She made it out of these beautiful pink fabrics. If I remember correctly, I think it was a Valentine's Day thing she was doing. And I really liked how her suit came out, even though she had some struggles with it. Her struggles were very helpful, and I highly recommend watching her video if you want to consider making this. Because, you know, she goes through some stuff and, you know, gets through it, and that's always very helpful to the rest of us. Now, good news is the skirt on this one it's not a circle skirt. It's not big bias cut panels. The panels are not exactly rectangular, but they're pretty close. Because as you can see, it's all gathered in at the sides, but it's nice and flat in the center back and the center front. I opened it up, and on the instructions, when they show what the panel pieces look like, they're very close to being rectangles. So with this one, you're not going to have to worry about any bias drop in that hem. Very, very little, if any at all. I doubt it would drop at all. So that's something nice. You don't have to wait to hem the skirt if you're in a hurry. Let's see. And keeping to the theme, another vintage one. This one, 9738, another simplicity. Another different style of the short jacket there. Now, this dress has no waist seam. It's all full-length panels, princess seam. And I know we all dread the words princess seam, but with this one, there's a center front seam, which is good because that always provides a great area for fit adjustment. In a lot of gowns that have a princess seam, if there's no center front seam, that side curve is really dramatic and causes people a lot of fit issues. But in this one, it doesn't need to be as dramatic because there's fit in the center front too. Well, what? Oh, no waist seam. Now, the panels in the skirt, this is another good feature of this one. Obviously, they flare out greatly after the waist, but they're all cut on the straightest seam, which means that those bias edges, they're all in the seam. So the part that's left hanging is on the straight of grain. So this is another one where you're not going to have to worry about bias drop in the hem. I always love it when you don't have to worry about that, because I hate adjusting the hem heights after that happens. It has a 14-inch side zipper, and the ease in the chest is 2 inches and 1.5 in the waist, which seems decent. Now, as you can see, it has tie straps for the shoulders. Now, usually when you see gowns like this, it usually means that, like, it can just be strapless, but not with this one. The notions don't call for any boning, and the amount of ease in the chest means it's not really designed to hold itself up. So the straps actually are necessary. Although I do wonder if you could add boning and it might hold itself up. It's worth trying. Let's see. Oh, Now, I like this one because it's another short jacket, but a different shape. Tell I'm going after them for the jackets. Simplicity. And don't you just love those huge patch pockets on the skirt there? I mean, that's another thing that really drew me in because like pretty much any dress that has a waist seam, you could just leave off the entire top and make a skirt out of it, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing because I'm I'm not really a fan of strapless gowns myself, so yeah, I'm mostly after the jacket and after that skirt. Um, oh, the chest ease in this one is 1.5. It didn't say on the envelope what the ease was in the waist, and there's 4 inches in the jacket, so that's good to know. Oh, and this one, of course, does call for boning because no straps. And now to break things up for the all of the vintage stuff. This one I'm excited to make, probably next actually. 9780 is a beautiful gathered sort of like a peasant dress, which I really like this one because no closures. No buttons, no elastic, no hooks, no eyes, no nothing. It just pulls on over your head, and if you want it to be fitted, a sash or a belt. Gosh, I'm always a fan of no closures if it's possible. Now, one thing I will say about this one, even though the size says it only goes up to size 24, this one is very size inclusive because the massive amount of ease. The ease in the chest is 22 inches, which, I mean, makes sense because you can see it's this huge amount of fabric that's being gathered into the yoke there, right? So from basically here down, completely unfitted, and so much ease, it would fit almost anyone. Because of that, with this one, I highly recommend picking your size based on your over bust measurement, not your bust measurement. Because I think with this one, with the sheer amount of ease in it, if you were to choose your size based on your bust, especially if you're large cupped, the top up here is going to be like hanging off you. I mean, the neckline is going to be, dragging over into your bra area. So with this one, definitely use your over bust measurement to choose your size. And it's a little bit of a fabric hog, but as I said before, they're still giving you worst case scenario. They're giving you with nap. So totally unfitted, no closures. I mean, yeah, and it calls for wovens, but considering it's completely unfitted anyway, you could easily just make it out of knit fabric if that's what you have and you want to use it. Really won't make any difference with the way it's hanging and moving, except you would have to add interfacing in the collar up here to keep it from stretching, pretty much. Yeah. Let's see. Now, well, this one isn't new to me. Simplicity 8172. It's that dolman sleeve kimono type cardigan. I actually had this pattern before and I've made it several times. In fact, I am wearing it right now. I bought another one today when I was at the store because I ruined my pattern. And how did I ruin my pattern? Because I cut it. Like we're all told not to do. Trace out your patterns. And we don't because we're sure that we're not going to change sizes. And then we change sizes and now the pattern's not useful anymore. So I went ahead and got another one, $1.99. And plus my mom is bugging me to make one for her. Oh, one thing about this, again, huge amount of ease. the last time I made this, I cut a small, and that's 2 sizes below what, according to my measurements, I should have cut out. And even then, it's still far too roomy. Next time I'm going to cut the extra small, and that'll probably, stop with the hanging and everything. And the center back seam is just straight, so it's not fitted in the back at all. It's not like curving against your lower back like some people like. If you do want that effect, you'll have to, alter that center back seam to curve in a bit, which is pretty easy. So. And back to another vintage one. This one wasn't even on my list today. I actually ran across this at the store because it was in the overflow basket where people put stuff when they've decided that they don't want it. And I was just so intrigued because this apron here is, to my eye, essentially a dress, because it's completely fitted up here under the bust, and it's completely closed in the back. Full button down about a few inches past the hip so that you can step into it, and then fully closed. So, if you wanted this thing to be even more of a dress, all you would have to do is extend the length of the panels. I kind of love it. I'm going to give it a try. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. The tie in the back, on this one, is kind of superfluous. It seems to be just for decoration because there are also pleats in the back. The skirt's not gathered on at all. It seems to already be fitted, bow or no bow. Now, the only unfortunate thing about this, if you're wanting to treat it like a dress and be as fitted as it appears to be on the model, is that the sizing in this pattern is loosey-goosey. It only comes in small, medium, large, big bracket sizing, which isn't helpful most of the time. The size small says, I'm trying to go by the European sizes here. Okay, so a size small, they're saying 32.5 to 34. And then medium bumps all the way up to a 36 to a 38. You're between sizes, you've got a 2-inch jump in chest size there, where people are like, okay, well, which one do I pick? But luckily, they do have the finished chest measurements. For small, 38. For medium, 42. And for large, 46. So at least they gave you that, so it gives you a jumping off point to do your alterations. I think when I go to trace this out, I'm just going to draw new sizes in between them. So right there in between the lines, I'll just draw a new size between small and medium, and call it medium, whatever. I'll write it on the back, and that'll help a lot with fitting. And the last one, because they didn't have any of the Vogue patterns I wanted. I went with a list. I had a bunch of Buttericks, I had a bunch of Vogues, and they only had the one Butterick pattern that I wanted, and none of the Vogue ones. The drawers were either picked clean or they were never stocked anyway. I don't know. But so the last one I did manage to get that was on my list was Simplicity 8914. Now, it looks like it's just a simple modern day dress. It's got an elasticized waist, or an optional tie to go over it for looks, off-center buttoning. Now the buttoning is functional, even though it is a pull-on over your head, dress there, to open up the neckline, make it easier to get into. I don't know, I really like the simplicity of it, and the fact that it comes with sleeves. This is the kind that I think, because the cut is so simple, you can really play around with patterns, you know, bold patterns. And that's what I plan on doing with some of the fabric that I'm going to show you now that I'm done with the patterns. Okay, now the fabric. Okay, today, you know, just to date things, where I went on June 29th, 2003, and the prices I got, like, were criminal. They had all these cottons that were labeled last chance cottons, I guess because they're not going to be having them anymore. And they were supposed to be 70% off, which is amazing to begin with. And then the stuff that was back on the clearance table was another 25% off of the clearance label. Well, here's what ended up happening. Apparently, some of the fabrics back on the clearance table were considered last chance fabrics, even though they had clearance stickers on them, which means that it was now 70% off of the clearance sticker. So I ended up getting this fall fabric with these sort of a teal background with these adorable, like, pecan pies and pumpkin pies on it for a grand whopping 89 cents a yard. I'm not kidding. Like, no coupons, no, like, finagling at the register, just what was going on in their computers. 89 cents. So I took everything they had left. I got, like, what did I get? Oh, 6 yards plus a remnant. So, oh, I love that. I love that I'm going to wear an entire dress and be able to tell someone, oh, it costs $3.50. Plus buttons. And another one I got, not for 38 cents, but, or not for 89 cents, but still darn close, was this Christmas fabric. It's a beautiful rich red with, you know, gold music for the, you know, the Christmas tree song. I love this because, I mean, it's Christmas, yeah, but unless someone's close enough to be reading it, it just looks like musical notes. So I think you could wear it anytime you wanted to. I'm planning on using this to make a shirt dress. Of course, I always say that because I think anything can be a shirt dress. I love shirt dresses. But this one, also back on the clearance table, also some weird digital stuff going on with their overlapping sale. And this one ended up being $1.19 a yard. And my I think the simplicity pattern I showed you, the one that was heavily gathered, you know, the peasant dress, I think this is destined for that. This beautiful white with this teal and lavender and blue scroll work. I think that's going to be beautiful on it. And this is actually rather thin, so I think it's better suited to something that's very full rather than fitted, because if it were fitted, I'd have to flatline it. And this one was also off the clearance table, but it didn't have the crazy 70% thing going on. So this one I ended up getting for $3.73 a yard. Still amazing. And keeping with my earth tones that I adore, another fall fabric from the clearance table, white with, well, it's actually more of a cream, white with this beautiful leaves, diamond sort of pattern going on. I have no idea what this one will be. And this one, scrolls, spot vine scrolls. Huh. Am I the only one who thinks JoAnn's receipts are confusing? I mean, under each item, they write like 5 different prices. Like, figure out what you actually paid for something. Yeah, $2.99 a yard. Pretty great. And the last one, which I can't believe I bought, but I couldn't help it. I usually don't go in for novelty prints, but the simplicity, sort of like bathing suit cabana kind of thing. I guess it's made up from artwork from their, from their vintage patterns and stuff. And it says simplicity all around. They only had 2 yards of this left, and I got both of them. I'm not really much of a novelty print wearer, except for pecan pies, apparently. So I'll probably end up using this to make something at home. I'm thinking of, I can't remember the number right now, but Butterick also came out with another pattern this spring, another 1950s, I think it was a play set group, like playing at the beach. It came with a button-down skirt, like a shorts jumper, and also like a crop top. I think I'm going to use this to make the crop top and a pair of shorts. But I'm going to make the shorts as long as I can with what I have left after making the crop top, because I don't really like shorts unless they're like at my knee or lower, because I don't like chairs touching me when I sit. I can't be the only one. So, like, culottes, they gotta be long there. Oh, well, I didn't get everything I wanted. There were a few that were missing. I really, really wanted the Vogue 1864, I think it was. It's like a double-breasted suit with a pencil skirt and a blouse, but empty, unfortunately. But all I have to do is keep checking the Simplicity website, because they put their Vogue patterns on sale pretty often, so it'll come up. And, well, that's it for this, and hopefully in the future videos very soon, you'll see some of these patterns and some of these fabrics on them. So, see you next time. Thanks.